5 anonymous jobs, no trend, no review. It helps you stay healthy every month. Job without a review, but to feed a whole family. Do you ever see yourself lost in a forest of living people? Very true trend. Every time you open TikTok, you see people showing off their jobs. Every time I surf you see people just get rich quick. And you're sitting with a cold cup of coffee, surfing the message board and silently asking, what do I have to do to be kind? No drama, no spotlight. I've asked that question before. I once sat down for coffee on the side of the road. Next door is the air conditioner. It was 11 p.m. I'm struggling to think of viral content. I just wiped my hands. I just saw the third order of the day. The customer called again this afternoon, and the air conditioner was blocked. Kids are afraid to do these things. I don't have a fan page. I don't know SEO. I don't know reviews online. But I see your wallet is thicker than mine. And he smiled softly. And that's when I realized. There are jobs that don't need to be famous, but it makes people healthy. Live quietly. And if you're tired for running after the glitzy stuff, if you don't feel like you're fit to be on stage, but still want to make money, then maybe you're a good fit for anonymity. Today, I want to tell you about the silent roads, but full of value. Jobs that you can start. Even if there is no money, there is no follow, there is no trend. As long as you have the right mindset, real perseverance, and a new perspective on the profession. If this story is the feeling you're looking for, don't be afraid. Click like to relay for video. Comment if you've heard, or you're working in an anonymous job. And subscribe to the mind-cracking channel, where people don't need to stand out. I can still live in my own way. Now, so, I started my journey of discovery. No one claps when you start, but enough for others to admire when you get there. One wake up, you don't fall behind. You're just standing in the wrong direction. There's a feeling that today so many young people are quietly suffering. It doesn't hurt as clearly as 7. It's not as shocking as rejection. It's soft but deep. It's the feeling of being left behind. Every day you open a social network and was greeted by a series of A friend boasted he had his own office. A classmate tossed pictures in Europe with light workshop caption. An old classmate, I was honored as a top seller this year. And you find yourself at the starting line, while others seem to have run all the way to the finish line. And while you're 6, look for 30,000 change in your wallet to buy lunch. That AI just shared that clip of passive income. There is no need to work, there is still money. To be honest, you feel bad and sad, but hey, you are no less. You're not falling behind. You're just standing in the wrong direction. The feeling of falling behind, it doesn't usually come from being really slow. It comes from us. I'm with someone who's going the other way. It's like if you're climbing a mountain, it's taking the speed of the person running down the road. By the way, no matter how hard you try, you'll find yourself slow. The truth is that everyone has a different map. Some people go east, others go west. There's Leo, there's a swimmer. Some people are good in the spotlight, and some are good standing outside the lights and still silently controlling the stage. The fear of falling behind. It's actually a modern version of fear. Lost heard. Kai spotlight addiction, that aura addiction. It doesn't come from celebrity lust. It comes from a primal fear. If the AI doesn't see if it exists. So you try. Try to catch the latest trend even if it doesn't fit. Post a busy photo to prove I am trying to. I have a new job even though I don't know if it will last long. We live in an age where we see have value. I've been working behind the scenes, but you know what? There are people who don't follow. There are still customers. There are people who don't share. But the schedule's been closed all week. And there are people who don't need to stand out but live well. Very good. A true story. Faucet repairer, no fan page, no ads. But never 7. I used to know a middle-aged guy Repair faucets and pumps in the apartment. I have no fan page, no ads. I don't know what branding is. But there's one thing you're good at. When you say you can do it on time. Don't paint sick for more money. And always leave the construction area cleaner when it arrives. Results. An entire 11th floor row called me the washing machine savior. Every time someone clears, the neighbors will whisper to him, believe me. Not famous but prominent in a small community. And your income. Much more stable. Trendy freelancer I used to know. You don't need a spotlight. You just need a bright enough desk lamp to do a decent job. You see, it's not AI. It's not trend lagging. There are people who go behind but go right. Not AI, not viral is 7 failures. There are people who are quiet but steady. It's not that AI can't talk or lose. There are people who are not good at presenting, but they're very good at solving problems in a world that's racing to see. I know who I am. Which way to go is the most important thing. You don't go slow. You're just preparing for another journey where few dare to go. I'm not encouraging you to do less. I just want you to know that. Do the right thing for the right people. At their true value. Always worth more than a male like. You don't have to pop up in a crowd of people competing. 7-2. You just need to take one steady step on the road. It's a little applause, but it actually leads to freedom. And if you're finding yourself different from the majority, then maybe you're going in the right direction. It's just that there's no way showing the way. One of the next. I'll show you a way like that. A world called the anonymous profession, where it's not noisy but enough for you to live well, master of time, and build value in your own way. What are 2 anonymous professions? And because that's an opportunity you're missing. You saw it in the previous section. It's not that you fall behind. It's just that you're facing the opposite direction. And if you've stopped, don't run under the spotlight anymore. It's time to look at a very special place. Where few people talk about, few people understand, but feeding thousands of families every day. It's called the anonymous profession. What is anonymous profession? Is that the profession does not appear on TV. There is no live AI while working. There's no fancy photo with the words life changes when I write the bids. But it's something special. Guests are still looking. There is still money coming in every day. Say simply, anonymous jobs are real, valuable jobs. There is a stable demand, but not in the media light. Because there's no one showing it off, you does think not exist. No one reviews that job. So, you think it's not worth doing. But when you start paying attention, you'll find, oh, it turns out these are the jobs that keep the world going. Anonymous profession is different from inferior profession. This is misunderstanding number 1. It's also the biggest barrier. Many people miss opportunities. Very real. People often think, I can't see that AI is worthless. Not appearing on TikTok is an outdated profession. No fan page is a bad career. But the truth is, there are people who repair air conditioners that make 15 million better than office workers. There are people who run a YouTube channel for doctors. No one knows the name but 8-digit income. Someone only repairs refrigerators for apartments. 5,000 per day. Guests book all week in advance. And they all have one thing in common. They can't, but they're dirty. Because the jobs that no one sees are a golden opportunity. Because of the current society, I'm too focused on the obvious. Places where few people notice. It becomes a fertile land. Let's imagine it like this. Hot jobs are like a busy street. They also open a bar. Competitive discount advertising exhausting. Anonymous profession is a small alley. Few I look but there are 200 households living. Still need to eat to fix. Need help. And you're the first to open the only store in that alley. You don't need a big sign. You don't need flashing lights. You just have to open the door on time and do a little better than others. It's easy to miss the anonymous profession because it's not clearly named. You won't see it on your CV. I'm a mini crisis handler. Show shop online. From a bomb to a bad review. You rarely see I talking. My job is to rewrite resumes. Help others get the company they want. But those jobs are still getting paid every day. Very real be a common anonymous profession's preliminary classification. A field handcraft skill. For example, fixing an air conditioner with a insulation-mounted glass decal. To digital skills to work remotely with a computer. For example, writing a YouTube operation profile hired to edit manual research data. BA organizational skills. For people who are good at communication, for example, and coordination. Sourcing of liquidation procurement. Connect freelancer. Job manager. The question is if anonymous profession so good so few people do. Because it has no light. There is no recognition. There's no eye clapping when you're just starting out. And you know what? People are afraid of being judged, so they chose to listen to Cho, rather than helping them live well. But you are different. You're starting to learn how to observe the world with a practical eye. You're seeing opportunities out of the spotlight. You're asking the right question. Is there something few people are fighting for, but can I still feed myself? And anonymous profession. It's one of the most valuable answers. But then you'll ask, I want to know which job is right for me. I can't pick for at random. That's why in the next section, I'm going to show you 5 very practical ways to find the anonymous profession that's right for you, even if you don't have the skills. There are no customers. 3 things society doesn't say. How the virtual aura is trapping young people. If you ever find yourself slower than others, you're not wrong. If you've ever felt, the work I am doing is not worth showing off, you're not alone either. Because there's a truth that very few people say. We are living in an age, it's easier to name a profession, the easier it is to be honored, and the quiet decent jobs that actually helps is considered temporary, low or worse, not worth pursuing. Society doesn't tell you to be true to your values. Society tells us to live like people are living. Try to remember. When you share, you're a washing machine repair technician. Someone nodded and said, that skill is rare. Or they'll pause and change the subject. If you say you're supporting small businesses, rewrite the capacity profile for bidding. Someone patted you on the shoulder. Probably not. Because society doesn't have a congratulatory script for jobs. So we grew up with a rut. A job worth doing is a famous or well-known job. From a young age I was taught. Being a doctor, engineer, teacher is stable. Being a big bank is a success. IT marketing data is modern. If you say you are writing PowerPoint presentations for busy people, do camera mounting services but specialize in hiding beautiful wires, or go and collect tables and chairs from the liquidation companies. I'm sorry, there's no line in the textbook. Write about those jobs. And because it's not recorded, many young people begin to doubt themselves, even though they're making real value. And then, we begin to live in the illusion of the aura. You don't really want to do that. But you still do it because it sounds cool. You're not really comfortable. But try because you're afraid of people asking. I don't do anything hotter. This is no longer a career choice. Here's the name. We're choosing a profession to be called cool. Not to live well. The mind is guided by the outside. Make you choose the wrong way. I thought I had a direction. Many young people today are not lazy. They work extremely hard. But the suffering is focusing on something that doesn't really fit. They run hot jobs. Even if you're not happy inside. They take personal branding courses, even if you're an introvert yourself. Hate filming videos. They catch the trend constantly because if they don't, they will be left behind. And then they're exhausted, tired of having to play. Not because the work is hard. There's a word to describe this state. Social comparison. You don't live wrong, you live too close to social media. Where people don't share the everyday. Just post an extraordinary moment. Video clip viral. Not talk about the previous 47 clips flop. Who boasts an income of 100 million? I'm not talking about the debt 3 years ago. The coffee photographer at work didn't say. They just sit there for the post. And you only see carefully selected results. You will think you are bad, while actually you're just more real than anyone else. A little. How to get out of this halo trap? Let's start with 3 self-help questions. 1. If no one knows what I'm doing, do I still want to do this job? If the answer is no, chances are you're doing it to get recognized, not to live well. 2. If the profession doesn't have a good name, only the results are clear, guests are satisfied, money flows evenly, am I ready to do it? If you have, congratulations. You're more alert than a lot of people running under the lights. I want to be remembered for being good at something. If you can answer, the name is no longer important. You'll build your own reputation out of real skill. And this is what society doesn't tell you. People who quietly do well are living better than a lot of people trying to make noise. You don't need to be known by the crowd. You just need to mention the name. By a group of people willing to pay you. You don't have to keep up with the latest trends. You just need to understand the customer's pain and solve that. You don't have to invent anything new. You just have to do the old thing thoroughly and nicer than others. So if you're ready to let go of the pressure, work for the right trend, I'll show you in the next section. There are jobs that don't go to VI, not named by the press. It's feeding thousands of people every month. And maybe there's a job in it, waiting for you to step in. For jobs not up to VI, but it's all in the account. You may be thinking here, that sounds great, but what exactly is an anonymous job? What to do without going online every day? The answer is more than you think, and more real than you think. In this section, I'm going to share with you 5 anonymous professions. Jobs without AI hashtags. No one spends money on advertising, but good people live well. Even better than a hot job. A fixer who solves emergency problems. If you have ever opened an online store, you will understand. There are days when it comes down like a storm. Single bomb guests judged a false memory sow. Delivery system errors played badly by competitors. The shop owner needed someone. I'm not a presentation expert. It's not KL. It's a crisis handler. Fast, compact, no noise. Fixers are the ones behind it. Get everything back in order. They don't charge by the hour. They charge according to the guest's headache. A mini crisis management CA can yield 100 trillion 10 million in just a few hours. If you're really good. There is no live stream when doing this, but whoever needed it will remember it forever. 2. Purchasing and handling services of liquidation of enterprises. You know, there are thousands of offices every month. The restaurant is temporarily closed. Desk, chair, computer, cabinet, ornaments pile. The owner just wants to sell quickly. And at that time, you appear as a behind-the-scenes solver. Buy a whole lot at a price out of mind, then resell it to students. Small restaurant, household. What do you need? A phone, a guard car, or outsource a connected head? Someone I used to know who did this. I have no fan page, no team. But a month, I won 50 million just from stuff other people don't need anymore. And very few competitors because AI is also afraid to carry. BA. Make silent hired presentation slides that are professional. Teacher needs slide. Coach needs slide. Startup CC and pitch deck. And a lot of people say good things. And a lot of people say I don't know how to do PowerPoint. This is when you come in. With just one laptop, clear presentation skills, and sufficient aesthetics, you can help them turn their talk. Become a weapon. The real picture. The price of a set of slides varies 3 trillion 3 million depending on the length, folding, and difficulty. A student I know does this. Regular income 2 to 30 million per month. They only work in the dorm room. No one knows who she is online. But those in need are lining up. For right capacity dossier bid dossier job application. You are good at writing. You have the ability to speak clearly. Logic can highlight the strengths of others. Try this job. People are not inexperienced. They just lack how to relate that experience professionally. You're the one who does that. Help them rewrite their CV. Refresh the enterprise capacity profile. Standardization of bids for projects. Income from several hundred thousand to several million a record. And if you do it well, you will quickly have customers, because they will recommend you to others. Years running a YouTube channel or podcast. Hire a professional. There's a lot of people with expertise who have customers, but there's no time or skills to operate a communication channel. And that's when they need you. You don't have to be in the picture. You don't have to talk like TikTok. You just need to write a simple video description. Schedule a visit. One channel pay $310 million per month. Depending on the level of work, you operate 5 channels. Income BA to $50 million is absolutely real, and still keep something very precious anonymous. No one bothered. Addition BA profession less spoken but extremely potential. Repair hood at home. High demand few dare to touch. Wire hidden camera. High skilled people have no competition. Equipment maintenance in the cinema. Every commercial center. The repetition of deep expertise, stable income. What are the commonalities of these professions? Not viral. It's not flashy. There's nothing to show for it. But there are real customers. Has a clear value that has a steady cash flow. It's especially hard to be replaced by AI. Because it's all about sophistication, personalize and understand people. So what does this say? You don't have to sit in the right spot to make money. You just have to be good for a small niche, serving the right people. You don't need applause. You need a small but loyal clientele. You don't need to show up more. You need to make yourself a choice, the most reliable in your chosen industry. And if you're wondering, so how do I know which of these works for me? The next part is the answer. I'm going to share with you 5 very simple tools, but very realistic, to help you determine which anonymous profession is for you. Even if you don't know what you're good at, you'll find the right anonymous profession. With 5 extremely realistic observation tools, you understand the anonymous profession. You also see where the real opportunity lies. Now is the most important time. How to find out which job is for you. It's not that AI is good at fixing air conditioners. Not everyone likes to write slides. Not everyone is interested in collecting old stuff. And that's why we need 5 tools. No academy, no dogma. As long as you watch yourself honestly. It's an observation of what people often ask you to do. It sounds simple, but it's very effective. Is it a relative or ask you to adjust the content? Are you a friend or send a slide for suggestions? Did your neighbor call you to fix the faucet? The electric drive the remote? Things others find difficult, lazy or not knowing how to do, but you do it quickly. Even C. Fun is the signal. For example, a female friend shared, I get asked by my friends to redo my CV all the time. It bothered me at first, and then I realized I'm really good at this. I do CV editing at home. Each set 300,800,000. 7 sets per week is more income. What do others often ask you to do? That's the clue. 2 tools on Google Trends. Find out what society needs that few people do. Did you know that every month, keyword repair printer at home, searched 10,000 times? Buy old stuff at the office. Search traffic spiked at the end of the year. Google Trends is not just a tool for marketers. It's a window into social needs. In real time. Try typing in Japanese profile translation. Mounted hidden camera writing wire content. Hire an air conditioner at home. You'll be surprised because there are jobs that are searched thousands of times a month, but no one has done it professionally. The need is clear, but no provider is an opportunity. Be a tool serve group community. But not to find trends, but to read pain. You join the marketing group. Don't look for the top salary. Look for posts with content like, "Everybody, does A know a correct Excel file with formula error? Find Rush, who knows how to clean the computer for his company. I need your help writing company profile for presentations." There are so many calls for help. And often no A responds. It's not because no one cares. It's because no one sees it as an opportunity. You do the opposite. Let's see that as a mini market survey. You can save the post so after a week you will have. There's a whole list of things that nobody's done. Where others pass by. You can find your own little niche. Tool 4. Look at the same things you've criticized. That's right, things you used to despise, or maybe no one can live with it. Grab at night. Mount computer monitor. To collect the old laptop body to separate components. WRIT product description rent for TMDT floor. Some young people have said, "I used to laugh. I get nervous when I see someone else collecting office chairs. But when I tried to enter it myself, I put it back on Shopee. Sold more than 70 chairs a month. The staff is used." Then I understood. There are no small jobs, only small thoughts. The profession you've been through. Maybe it's a job to help you turn the tide. Tool 5. Suitable occupation assessment checklist. After some suggestions, let's apply what you're considering to the following 5 questions. Does one have a real need? How many times a month do people need it? Can it be repeated? Return guests, or you can refer them. BA. Are you comfortable doing that? No forcing, no roaring. Can you learn quickly and upgrade? 3 months of learning is good. Can the year be expanded? You can hire more teachers later to be more professional. If at least 3 per year, the answer is yes. It's a profession you should try. You don't have to be good in the first place. You just have to start with what you see closest to you. You don't have to be a professional to be valuable. An anonymous profession that's right for you. It's not often that the eye claps when you say rah. But it's capable. Bring money back every month. Give you time to control. Most importantly, you find yourself useful. So what's the next step? Finding the right job is one thing. Turning it into a source of income is something else. A lot of people stop at ideas because they think, "I don't have the capital, I don't have skills, I don't have clients." But don't worry, the next part will show you how to start an anonymous career, even if you have nothing in your hand, except for a little determination. 6. How to start without money. And no one believes in me. Suppose you've done the important work. Take a good look. You choose a suitable anonymous profession. You see it's in demand, are likely to repeat, you're also inspired by it. And then you're ready to step in. But the real world doesn't roll out the red carpet. Instead, it's a series of questions. Makes you falter. I start when I have nothing. No one has hired me, I have no experience. What to start with if you don't have a client you don't believe in? The answer is, start with the state you're in. Not waiting for the right conditions. Because the truth is that people don't start because they're ready. They were ready to start. Step 1. Free or cheap, not to make money, but to verify the value. This is not foolishness. It's an investment of time to understand the client and understand the profession. When you don't have a name, no one believes you. The fastest way to build trust is to do it. Make friends, acquaintances. Make online community, give feedback form. Make a small group, but be kind as if you're getting the highest pay. You don't need to learn right away. You need to learn quickly. What guests really need? Where do they go? Their reaction, Russell. I had a lot of fun once you shared it. I started writing free product descriptions for 5 friends selling online. 2 people came back after a week to place an order. No one believed me at first, but I'm on schedule until they're satisfied. Now I have 8 clients. Free the right way doesn't cost you. It's a stepping stone for you to have the power to price later. Step 2. Record real feedback. Turn praise into social proof. After trying it, If the guests are satisfied, don't just laugh. Please reply with a message. Take a picture of a compliment, thank you. Use as a portfolio or feedback. The reason is simple. You don't have a brand, you need proof. When others see you've helped a real person, they will be easier to believe. You can even ask more. Every time I see something you do well, what points can be further improved? Every response is a brick. Build trust from people who don't know who you are. Step B, evaluation by value. Not according to the market. After a few jobs, you start to have confidence. And this is where many people make mistakes. Keep prices low for too long for fear of losing customers. But you know what? Good customers are not looking for the cheapest service. They find the most valuable service. Let's say you save your guests 3 hours. You can charge the equivalent of 300,000. 500.00. You help them avoid mistakes that can cost millions. You can charge a few $100,000 or higher. The value is not in the time you spend. It's in the results you help visitors achieve. Don't sell your skills cheaply. Sell it for the value it brings. Process optimization compensation step to save time while increasing quality. When I first did, you're going to do a lot of hands and feet because there's no system. After 10 jobs you'll start to realize. There is a place I repeat all the time. There are steps that take time. Without creating additional value, that's when you should write a checklist. Create quote template. File feedback presenting the process of sending the results. Use the simple support tool Google Sheet. Change the notion of childhood. Every minute you save, it's a minute you can use to get more visitors or rest. Step 5. Name yourself in a kind and truthful way. You don't have to be the CEO of ABC. You just need to introduce it clearly. I specialize in helping students. Each candidate edits CV to make it easy to get an interview. I write a product description. Online shops don't have time. I assist the shopkeepers in cleaning up. Reorganize the store when it stops working. How you call yourself. It directly affects how people find you. The more you describe what you're helping they solve, the easier it is for customers to think of you when they need you. In short, you don't need capital. You don't need reputation. You just have to do it for real. Learn to respond quickly and remain kind. For no, I believe you do not sow. As long as you don't lose faith in yourself. Don't wait for a brand to get started. Let's start and create a brand from the results you get. And then step by step you no longer have to go looking for guests. Guests will find you. Then you'll ask, after doing some small jobs, how to get customers back. Do something to keep the income without running ads all day long. The 4 answers will be in the next section, where I share my old customer retention strategy and get them to present you as a precious secret. 7. How to get old guests back. That you don't need to run ads. You've started an anonymous career. Try some small jobs. Someone praised someone coming back. Some people even introduce more friends. Awesome. But then you wonder what it's like to have your guests come back. You don't have to go looking for new guests all the time. The answer lies in the simplest, but they are most forgotten. Don't focus on getting more people to know you. Focus on making some people miss you for a long time. Because in the anonymous world of work, sustainability doesn't come from noisy marketing. It comes from quiet trust. One does a little better. It's a little more than people expect. Many people think it's done. But actually, it doesn't make a difference. Only if you do it right. If you keep your promise, guests will miss you for a long time. For example, the next 3 hours to 45 you were there is the first plus. Deliver edit files that format cleanly. The file name is obviously the second plus. Send back the product instruction manual after delivery. That's the third plus. And if you make a mistake, sorry first and fix it later. It's not blaming first and then disappearing. Customers don't need you to be perfect. They need you more. Common ground a little bit and keep credit longer. A trend too. Remember to take care of yourself as a good salesman. It's a big mistake for many beginners. It's done. I don't remember. I doesn't record anything. You don't need a CRM system. You just need an Excel file with your phone number. The work was done at the time. A thank you note after a job. A message after a month. Did you use the service last time? If you need anything more, I'm here. You become more professional in small steps. The more customers believe you. Because in the anonymous world of work, nobody checks how many followers you have. They only care. Last time you did well. This time it was better. BA creates sealed and substance branding. Let old guests introduce you as a precious secret. People often share special things. Hard to find and reliable. If you're in the right niche, serving the right small group, you'll become a rusted name. Ears in that community. For example, need folding slide editor. Call this guy on a tight deadline. Every time my company packed, I called him. Buy out of trouble. Want to write a resume without being landman? Your inbox is very careful. You don't need a fan page. You don't need a logo. No need to run ads. You just need to let old guests remember you with words like fast. On time is hard to replace. A strong brand doesn't need a lot of people to know. Just the right person can't forget. For small incentives for guests to return as a habit. You don't need a 50% discount or a big promotion. You just need a 10% coupon for next time. A small gift cloth bag. Sample file instructions after using the service. A message I send to each of you. Self-assessment file checklist. Thanks for using the service last time. Small, but guests will find themselves interested, and you stand out more than 90% of people. Why? Because most people in small jobs usually just thinking about getting it done. If you know how to take care of the after service, you will build a long-term relationship. 5. Systematized but keep a sense of individuality. Even if you are doing it alone, think of yourself as a small business. Send a quote with the right file delivery format name. Right deadline. Message the right person at the right time. But don't let it be insensitive. If the guest doesn't come back for a long time, if there is a special occasion, Happy New Year anniversary, send greetings. If they introduce new guests, give thanks with a sincere act. You are anonymous, but the relationship must be clear, warm and reliable. The real story. Air-conditioned toilet with a sheet of paper. 90% of visitors return. I met a security guard once. Air conditioning in the apartment. There is no logo. There is no call center number that does not run ads. There's only one piece of paper a year with a phone number. Posted on the elevator message board. But the AI that called once came back. Because cell cleans more than expected on time every minute. After I give you a small coupon. 10,000 off next time if you call back within 3 months. It's not worth much. But the unexpected effect. Remember the guests back to you. No advertising. No viral. And if you keep being kind all the time, it won't be long. You will find that you no longer have to follow the customer. You will be chosen. You will have the right to raise the price. And most importantly, you will be confident to expand your career into a small ecosystem. Firmly accurate. That's what we're going to talk about in the next section. 8. From small jobs to ecosystems. Do you want to? There's a misconception. Many people stay in place. That's a temporary job. How to grow big. Sounds familiar. We often think of anonymity as a small thing. Living enough is good. But that's only true if you don't want to go any further. If you have a job, only Chu has guests who have a solid reputation. Congratulations. You are holding a tree in your hand. If taken care of properly, it can become a whole garden. So when should we think about expanding? Not when you're too free. Or when suddenly bored of being alone. It's when you've had enough of these 3 signs. You are so busy that you have no time to get a job. Both old guests returned. New visitors are introduced to be by themselves. You can clearly describe the process. We believe that others can learn as well. If you have enough these 3 signs, congratulations. You don't just have a job, you have a model. Towards a stable human collaborator recruitment. No official recruitment is required. Or make a 10-page contract. You just need people to support you when you're overwhelmed. Data entry, file processing. Guide them according to the process you summarized. Output quality inspection and clear profit sharing. Because you've done it, you know the hard part. Point to squeeze, so the training will be faster and more accurate. Any course of study. I have 10 jobs a week and a team. Get 25 jobs a week without exhausting yourself. Direction 2. Make shared content, build a silent but sure presence. You don't have to be a YouTuber. Just write an occasional Facebook post. Individual block, group, community. For example, 5 things after writing 50 competency profiles for small businesses. How to set a price without knowing the name. But AI also needs. As you share your journey of experience, perspective, you not only attract new visitors, but also build trust. Attract people from the same industry to define yourself as someone who does the truth. A lot of people, thanks to those articles later, sold the course, the book, or simply be mentioned by others. When someone needs a service, BS direction of building many communities keeps long-term connections. If you've had 10 or more guests who have used the service, don't let them drift into oblivion. Please create an email list or Facebook group. Periodically send discount tips. Service update. Share your perspective as a trusted friend, not as a sales professional. You don't need a 1,000-person community. Just 100 people remember you when you need them. You've got a small, stable ecosystem. Directions to Dad. Turn a niche into a product or course. When you're good at it, you have a systems mindset, and then you can create tutorials for novices in PDF format. Ebook, video, mini. Small online courses. How to write effective product descriptions. Make professional slides with PowerPoint. Buy old stuff and sell it like a pro. It doesn't need to be monumental. Just back what you did well. Share it for those who really need it. You're not just working. You start helping people do their jobs. And your income doesn't just come from the public. It comes from the system. A real and very close example. A young man who fixed a fence computer. Make the appointment at a reasonable price after sales. A few years later you open TimBA and start a blog sharing technical tips. You're still not famous today, but there's 100 customers every month. Self-help, a book for dealing with basic computer errors at home. Open online classes for students that wants to do more. And higher income. A lot of people used to laugh at you as a temporary worker. No need to overturn AI. No need to gain market share. Just go into a small corner and make it your own place. The industry doesn't limit you if you have an open mind. Do you start small? But your mind has to be big. Big in the way we organize. Big in the way we see the future. Great at how to lead others up. Remember, you don't do small jobs to live small. You're a small business to build an ecosystem. You are the guide. And of course, on that journey, will not avoid stumbling. There are very common mistakes. It makes people who work in the niche forever unable to grow or grow up and back. In the next section, I will point out every mistake and how you can avoid them so that we don't repeat the vicious cycle, tired of stopping and starting again. 9 mistakes when working anonymously. You can't go up forever. There's an interesting thing about anonymity. It doesn't require you to be very good from the beginning. No big capital, no name. But it requires you to do the right thing. Because it's just a little bit off, you're going to fall into the trap of doing things all the time, or worse, and not being good enough before you can get it. Here are 5 common mistakes. Many people who work in a niche can't go up forever. If you're walking down this road, let's see this as a road sign to avoid loss of strength, lose momentum, and lose motivation. Mistake: a plunge in without carefully studying the market. You see a job that few people do, then thinks that's an opportunity. But it's not necessarily true, because there's a huge difference between professions. Few people do, but there is a real need. Few people do it because no one needs it. You need to be clear before you lead. Who really needs this service? They need to repeat or just once. How many people need each month? How much they're willing to pay each time? A week of thorough survey is to avoid 6 months of messing around in the wrong direction. Don't let yourself be dubious. Your job is to have an analytical brain. The price is too low and stuck at the bottom forever. Many people work anonymously. It started with a small, fatal mistake. It's cheap, easy to have guests. The result is hard work, and money is still not enough to live on. This service has to be cheap. Every price increase is a loss of visitors. Remember, good customers don't look for the cheapest. Good customers find the best value. They will be willing to spend more if you help them. Save time. Avoid the risk. Create clear results. Low prices do not retain visitors. Clear value can do that. Mistake BA. Follow your gut. There is no clear process. Many of the early niches flew. Each job has a type, each guest one-way handle. I was interested at first, but after a few months of being messed up, out of control can't be expanded. When you don't have a process, you're not going to be able to delegate back to AI. Every time I do it, I have to think from the beginning. Every small mistake is forgotten. It's not bad. I want my small business to be a system. You have to act as a system maker. Even if it's an anonymous job, have a checklist of working rules. Feedback form, quotation form. Everything is done as long as it is consistent. Mistakes must just do without learning. When you do 10 jobs, you feel good. 30 jobs you think you're in. After 100 jobs you start. It's because someone else is doing less than you. Guests are looking for them more. Reason? They learn more and you know the hand but do not raise the hand. Presentation skills do not lift. New tool not updated. I have been working psychologically. I know that makes you limit yourself. Whatever the job, learning more is always a way to retain old visitors. Expand new guests. Not to mention, the more you learn, the more you know how to reduce energy and increase value. Mistake of the year. I am afraid to share what I do because I don't see it. This is one of the invisible barriers that keeps the profession hidden. The name is hidden. You are good at writing resumes, but not in front of the crowd. You are very good at buying old things, but it's embarrassing when AI asks what it's doing. You fix super compact air conditioner, but I can only say I'm free. And then because you don't name what you're doing. So no one mentions you when you need to. Because you dare not accept. So others can't recommend. Work anonymously. It doesn't mean hiding from the world. It just means you choose to live quietly but effectively. There's no need to be noisy. You don't have to show off your work. You should be proud of your work. Because it's helping you live right and live right. So don't make small mistakes to derail a major road. You're going in the right direction. You've taken a harder but more real path. And so, the more you have to avoid unnecessary steps. Mistakes if avoided early. It will save you hundreds of hours. 10 customers, and their own confidence. And if you've made those mistakes, or start avoiding them, congratulations, you're on the threshold of a major shift. Move from work to life. Go to work to control your life. I'll tell you in the last part. How to live freely without standing out. How do you not need AI to choose you? Because you chose yourself. That's part 10. You don't have to choose. You just have to choose yourself. Take a few seconds to look back on the journey you've been with me in the previous series. From a sense of difference, I don't know where I am on the map of life. It's time for you to stop, turn around and realize I'm not falling behind. I'm just standing in the wrong direction. From career skepticism to the breaking out that there are professions that don't need the spotlight. But there's enough light to feed a lifetime. You've heard about the anonymous profession. You saw the example. You know how to choose a career, start keeping guests open, and avoid common mistakes. Now the last question, but the most important thing for you is, are you willing to choose yourself? Because the truth is that no one can choose to help you. No employer will stumble upon you and invite you to work anonymously. There's no platform to give you a specific path. There's no eye clapping her hands. Dance when you quietly start a task. That doesn't sound like much. You will not be named on the honor roll. There's no industry noble label attached to you. And there's no card. What is the point for people to go slowly but surely? But you know what's great? You don't need a name, because you're naming yourself. You don't need AI to show you the way, because you're putting up signs for yourself. You don't need AI to choose, because you're choosing yourself. Choosing yourself is a courageous act, but also full of freedom. When you choose yourself, you no longer have to live to meet the gaze of others. You don't have to be like the majority. You don't have to explain what you're doing. You don't have to put on a shell, wrap successfully according to social standards. You just have to do one small thing every day, with kindness and care. And then you'll build a career. Don't need too much introduction. A flexible, sustainable career. It's enough to feed you and make you proud. Maybe you don't have 10,000 followers, but you have 20 loyal guests. Maybe you don't have a fancy office, but you have a closed schedule every week. Maybe you don't know how to do marketing. Your guests will call you with the two most important words: for can believe. You don't have to stand out. You just don't give up. And you don't have to compete, because you're serving consistently. Choosing yourself is a silent but steady journey. Today, you choose yourself by getting your first small job. Tomorrow you choose yourself by delivering the right deadline. Day 1, you choose yourself by learning more to do better. Next week you choose yourself by teaching others. And gradually, you don't just live, you live actively. Not just make money, but create value. Not just work. It's about being someone who has a place in the market. You choose. Who are you? It doesn't matter where you're going. No one needs you right away. No one needs you to be successful. Just do a little better every day. A little nicer. Be a little more patient. That's it. You're different. And if one day that AI asks you what you're doing now, you can smile without a long line and answer, I'm doing something that I'm not famous but enough to help me live the way I want. And that answer, it can silence them for a few seconds, but make you believe in your whole life. Free travel is not for those waiting to be chosen. It's for people brave enough to choose for themselves. You already know what you need to know. You've got in hand tool view direction. Now it's time to try something very simple. It will change the future. Choose yourself today. If you're still wondering, you don't have to be perfect to get started. You just have to start to get better. And if you need a place to turn when you're down, every time I get lost, then this video, this journey, and this community will always be here. We are the ones who take the harder path, but more real. Don't be quick, just don't give up. It doesn't have to stand out. It just doesn't get lost. In short, you don't need big capital. You just have to start with what you have. You don't need a lot of people to know. You just need a group of customers who really need you. You don't have to choose. You just have to choose yourself. Thank you for coming to the end of this journey. If you see the video, it touches something in your heart. Allow yourself to take a small step today. Press subscribe channel so as not to miss in-depth tutorials. Next, comment on the niche you are thinking about or already do. And most importantly, remember, you don't need AI to clap. You just have to keep moving forward. If you're here, you're brave enough. And if you keep grit, the rest is just time. I wish you stability and freedom on the path you choose.